What is up, Dominators? This is Dom with you today. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And today we're going to show you how to use Adobe Photoshop. Now, this version is CS6. Now, this version is a little bit older than the newer one called Adobe Photoshop CC, but the interface and all its features are still the same. So we're going to go through and give you an idea of what each feature does, and also if you want to have a copy of Photoshop, private message me and I'll be able to send you one at no additional cost. So we are going to look and see all the options that we have here. So we're going to go to the left for starters, and then we're going to view our tools. So the first tool that we're going to see is the select tool, and then this is the rectangle tool, and then if you click and hold, these are your marquee tools. So you have the rectangular marquee, elliptical marquee, single row marquee tool, and your single column marquee tool. So here's also the lasso tool, where you have your lasso, polygonal lasso, and magnetic lasso. And then there is also your quick selection tool and your magic wand tool, and also your crop tool. And then this is also your color picker tool, where you have your eyedropper, your color sampler, your ruler tool, and your note tool. And then this is also the healing brush tool. So spot healing, healing brush, patch tool, content aware move tool, and your red eye tool. And then you also have your paintbrush tool, where you can free paint. So brush, pencil, color replacement tool, and mixer brush. And then you also have your stamp on the side, and you click and hold, clone stamp, pattern stamp. And then you have here your history brush tool, or your art history brush tool. And then this is your eraser tool, background eraser tool, magic eraser tool. And then you have your gradient tool and your paint bucket tool. And then you also have here your blur tool, sharpen tool, smudge tool. And then you also have here your dodge, burn, and sponge tool. And then your pen tool, your free transform pen, add anchor point tool, delete anchor point tool, and convert point tool. And then you also have your text tool. That's an important tool to use. And then you also have your path selection and direct selection tool. And then your fill rectangle tool, rounded, ellipse, polygon, line, custom shape tool. Then there's the hand tool, rotate tool, and then finally your zoom tool and your layer selection tool. And then also after this you have your standard screen and full screen with menu bar mode. So you can click on any one of these to change your settings. So what we're going to do is we are going to import our first project. So you click on File, you click on New, and then it'll give you the name, the preset, and then you can also specify your size. So we're going to start off with a 1920 by 1080 file. You can also set the dimensions from pixels to inches, centimeters, millimeters, however you like. And then your color mode, usually you leave it at RGB color, 8-bit, or you can have 16 or 32, but it also affects the quality in some way. So let's go 8-bit. So the size is different per bit that you use. So for 8-bit, you get 5 megabyte images, and up to 32-bit, 23 megs. So we're going to just select 8-bit for now. Background contents, the background color, and then you can also click the advanced arrow, and then you can choose the profiles of what you want. But we're not going to do anything right here, so we're just going to click OK. And then what you should see here is your background that pops up. And we also have it selected where we have a timeline. So what can you do here in Photoshop? You can edit really cool thumbnails on YouTube. You can alter and edit photos. You can remove backgrounds. You can do a lot of stuff on here. So what we're going to do is, for this video, I will explain how to create a YouTube thumbnail in Photoshop, but I'll also tell you how to use Photoshop at the same time. So let's say you have a blank template, and then you want to add to it. So you click down here to add a new layer. So then what you want to do, if you want to place an image, you go to File, Place, and then you pick an image that you want. So let's say, for example, we are going to pick an image that we have not doctored yet. So we're going to go Cluttered Pics, and we're going to use my friend One Blazing Eagle 1 as an example. You see he's holding up the spikes there. This is a shout out to you, my brother. Notice that the picture that we place here does not match the size. So what you can do is you can hold the Shift key and then click on one of the dots here to adjust the vertices and stretch it so that it clicks onto the side. And then you do the same for that. And then when you're done, you press the place arrow, then you place your file. So then what automatically happens is that it stretches out to the portions of the background that you have, and your background layer is done. But if you hide the layer, it goes back to the background. But you click on here so that you can see it again. So let's say that you want to make this stand out, you want to make this pop. So you click the text tool, and then it'll add a new text layer upon starting. So let's say it is Blaze. So what you do is when you have your text selected, oh look, it's too big. You might have it set so that a size difference is noticeable here. So what you can do is you can press Control T, and then you press the Shift key to keep the proportions, and click on the arrows to minimize it so that it doesn't lose quality. But you can also free transform it by letting go of the Shift key and clicking up like this so that the text stretches, or you just hold Shift so that you can keep its current rate and steady. So we've added our text. We go press the arrow, we click apply. Still doesn't look good. So what you can do is you can add a layer style. So we're going to double click on the text layer that we made, and then we can go layer style. Let's say you want to add a stroke to it. So your stroke color is here. You can also set the size by rotating it to 5 or 6. Now that looks like it pops out more. Then you can also add a gradient overlay. That looks pretty kick-ass right now. So then what we're doing is we're going to select our gradient design. There we go. Now that looks so much better. Then you can also do the same for your pictures. So what you do is you click on the picture, and then you go filter, filter gallery. There we go. So filter and filter gallery. So then what we do is we can select the type of filters by clicking on the arrow where the folder is, and then selecting what we want. So let's just say we're going to click colored pencil, and then it'll give us a preview of the colored pencil style. And then fresco. That looks really detailed right now, because whereas if you had it before, it would be a little bit fainter. So if you adjust the brush size, and then it'll just adjust its detail. So let's say you adjust the brush detail. Look at that. That looks amazing. This thumbnail looks better already. I've just made one Blazing Eagle one even more blazing. So this is how you create a thumbnail. And you can also touch it up however you like. You can position the text wherever you like. You can also insert logos as well. So let's say you want to insert a PNG file. So what you do is you go to File, Place. Okay, so here is a PNG file of me that we're going to use. So notice that the PNG file, it's automatically transparent. You don't have to worry about setting anything up. You don't have to worry about burning the background. If you automatically have a PNG file, it will just come as it is. It will be inserted as it is, so then we can resize it however you like, adjust the dimensions, and that's how you do it. And then you press place, and then it saves it in another layer. So we learned our tools. We learned how to import a picture. We know how to import files and write text, layer styles, filters, and all that stuff. But there's a lot of things that we haven't learned yet. This video is going to be in depth, so I'm going to show you a lot of things here. So let's say you want to do another project. So we're going to go File, New, and then we're going to do Custom. So let's say you want to get rid of a background. So we're going to find a picture that has a background. So we're going to go File, Open, and then we're going to find a picture that has a background in it. So let's just find a snapshot. It's a really nice looking car. And then let's say you just want the car and not the background. So what we're going to do for this is we are going to do one of many things. The first thing that we're going to do is use the magnetic lasso tool to allow the car to be lassoed easily, but you also have to make sure that it's lassoed properly so that you capture everything right from the very detail. Okay. And then for every point that you intersect, you just click, and then you basically finish up the lasso by going to the original start point of where you started the lasso. So let's say we got all the contours of the car, and then we drag it like this, and we reach the point of the lasso, and you'll see a little circle, and then you click on that. So then what you do, it doesn't look quite good yet, so what you click on next is Refine Edge. And then the next thing that you do is you have to refine your selections. So let's say that there's still traces of the background. So what you do is you adjust the edging, and you also do a detection of it, and then you show the radius and the original. So let's go view with original selection. So that's what it looks like. But if you uncheck that, it shows our changes. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust it so that nothing appears out of place. So we're going to adjust the feather, make it smooth. We're going to shift the edges. As you can see, when you shifted the edges, it stands out a bit, but not too much. So we're going to go like this. Now the edging is more noticeable here. So let's just click OK, and we're going to go with this. But it doesn't look perfect yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our free select tool. So you see the plus sign on the circle here. That is adding. So let's say if you press Alt, it's a minus. So let's say that you want to minus out this edge. So you click on this, and then it will contour it. But if you want to add on to it, you make sure that it's plus, and then you go like this. So you can also press the Alt key and press minus again to get rid of the selection like this. So let's say you want to get rid of, let's say you have a picture of you and your dog in front of a park, but you just want to have the picture of you and the dog. So this is normally what you would do. So then you make sure that it is perfect, well, not perfect, but to your liking. And then what you can do is, after you've made your selection like this, we just have to clip out this part here. So when your selection is to your liking, what you do is you remember the settings and you output to selection, so you click OK. So then what you do is you press Control C, and then you go File, New, and then it automatically saves the size of the selection to a new project, and then you press Control V to paste it in. Like I said, it's not perfect because this was just a example of what to do, but you want to get it perfect. You want to get it perfect so that it appears that you took the car out of the background and put it in front of another object. So this is an example of what you can do by getting rid of a single object in a foreground or background setting. So that's one way to do it. But with PNG, you don't necessarily have to do any of what I showed you, but if you want to get a direct object from a picture out and into another picture, that's what you do. So let's say I press Control C here, and then we'll put it in front of our Blazing Eagle. So we go press Control V. You see the nice sports car on top of the Blazing Eagle sign? That's what you do. And that is how you go. So there you go. That's how you take a picture out of a picture and into another picture. Get the picture? So this is an example of what you can do. I mean, you can do a lot of other things in this program, such as touch up photos, get rid of red eye. I could explain all of that in this video, but probably it would be a boring video. Unless you want me to continue, that is. But if you want me to explain more about what you want to see on Photoshop, leave it in the comments below. But we're going to finish up with this video in doing something else. So let's say that you want to, let's say, smudge some things. So we're going to click on the smudge tool. We're going to increase the size of the brush, and then we're going to smudge the eye. We're going to smudge the car, let's say. Let's smudge the car. So the car has a longer nose. And you can do like smooth touch-ups like this. You can allow the car to be smoother. So you can just adjust it the way you want. And it looks amazing with how you use the smudge tool. You got to be proper with this, because if you want to be sloppy, you can be sloppy, but that necessarily doesn't have to be the case. I mean, you can just undo that by pressing Control Z. Yes, I'm Canadian. Or Control Alt Z if you want to do a series of things that you want to undo. So that is one way that you can undo it. You press Control Alt Z to undo many things you've done. But with this, we're fine with it. So this essentially is one way that you can create a thumbnail, add text, filters, place pictures in other pictures, create new settings, and all that stuff. Now, I know I didn't explain a lot here, but we're going to end the video right here, because I feel that if I were to make a longer video about it, then nobody would watch it or nobody would pay attention to it. So we're just going to break it down. So This is where you come in, subscribers. Dominators, I want you to find out what you want to know in Photoshop, and I will make a video about it. If you want to know how to make text even bigger, or if you want to know how to place multiple pictures in at once, or if you want to know how to do many different settings, please let me know. And yeah, I'm open to answer all of your requests, because I feel that if you need help with something, I'd be more than happy to help you. So everybody, Dominators, thank you so much for watching this. You have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next video. Bye bye.